This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Outside the Round with me, Matt Burrill. Today, a very special guest, a longtime homie of the Raise Rowdy family. You may have seen any of his three-part interviews on the Raise Rowdy podcast with Nikki T and our man Kurt. We got our man Colby Acuff with us today. Getting ready to drop a brand new record. This is what you said, 3 days home in the last month?
Yeah, actually, 3 days home in the last two. I left July 15th.
No
And I got
shit.
home Sunday.
Wow.
And today is September 23rd or something.
Yes, today's September 23rd. But yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
How was it?
It's great. You know, I mean, we got do a lot of things that we normally don't get to do. Got to play Lollapalooza this year. We went to Europe for the first time. Just over the pond. We also played in England at the Long Road Festival.
Wow.
Now we're on tour with John Party, and we just finished up a headline tour. That's what we were doing for the last month and a half or so. But yeah, crazy year for sure, no doubt.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, man. I mean, I think back to the first time I met you was when you played that Rowdy on the Row that Sunday night, and then we went and hung out at Red Door after, and then not long after that, you made the move out here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember exactly when that was. I think I was
2022.
22, yeah.
'Cause that was before I was even involved. That was before I was a business partner with Raised Rowdy.
I moved to town January 23, and I started, I met Nick, and then I met management, and then I got my record deal all in, from July to November. I was like, whoa, here I am.
Yeah, man.
I was on tour by February.
Yeah, which is crazy because coming from where you come from, being out in Idaho, and you had a life of working like a legitimate professional job, right? You were selling. Was it real estate you were doing?
Well, no, I mean, I had my license, but really I was a fly fishing guy.
You were guiding. You were doing fly fishing.
I mean, hard to sell real estate when you're guiding 115 days out of the year.
Yeah.
I'd sell a couple houses to hold me over.
Yeah.
You know, and I figured that out when I was 18. When I was 18, I didn't want any help from anybody. It was one of the best and worst things I ever did for myself. I was a real prick, but I feel the worst for my parents more than anything because I've kind of pushed them out, and I wanted to be so independent when I went to college. So I had to figure out how to pay for everything on my own. I was 0.01 away from getting a good scholarship to Idaho.
Go Vandals.
I got in-state tuition, which was dirt cheap, and I still could barely afford it.
Yeah.
But I got my real estate license, and I realized if I could sell 1 or 2 houses a year, that would really float me.
Yeah.
And so I'd spend all summer fishing and hopefully sell something. And yeah, I mean, one of my favorite stories from college is a little bit of a tangent, but going into my senior year, my buddy had just graduated. He was a year older than me. We had been hunting and fishing. He's one of my groomsmen in my wedding, and he's one of my best friends. He graduated a year ahead of me, and so it was his last summer, before he had to go be an adult. So I'm like, dude, I don't even care. I got some money saved up from selling houses. I'm like, let's just go fishing for 2 months. I'm not gonna work. I come back, school starts in August. I'm broke as hell. I got no money. I paid because I had to go in 2 weeks early because we'd rented this house, me and my 7 other buddies. So I paid the security deposit and the first month's rent, and then I had $200 in my bank account, and I hadn't paid tuition.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, I guess I got to go get a student loan. This is the first time I'd had to do that. Yeah. I've been able to float myself. Didn't sell any houses. Didn't work very much. Didn't have any money. So I'm like, well, there's only thing I know how to do if I have $200. So I'm like, let's go to the bar. Yeah. Because this $200 might as well be zero.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we go to the bar. I'm buying people beers. I'm just burning this last $200. And I'm sitting there at the table with my buddy, and I get a phone call. And it's the Idaho Real Estate Commission or whatever. And they're like, hey, is this Colby Acuff? I'm like, yep, absolutely. That is me, And they're like, well, we see here you applied for a scholarship back in April. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I did. I don't know. I'm like, would I get third? Because it's $500. And like,
yeah.
No, you got first. You won the scholarship, and it's $5,000. I was like, boys, drinks are on me. Let's go. Pick up the check tomorrow. That's how I got through my senior year.
Wow.
Yeah, I won a little scholarship I'd forgot about. And then I sold a house in November and got a little extra. And
Yeah.
strapped it together and played some gigs, put myself through, and
That's wild.
graduated somehow.
That's crazy, man. Now, how does that transition to Colby Acuff, the songwriter, the artist that is now touring the world? Like, how does that get going as being a senior at Idaho?
I'd love to say I haven't changed at all, but I have for sure. I mean, I think that mentality, though, has always been with me. It's like my biggest, I think it's my biggest strength and weakness is just I love risk and I like taking the big risk.
Yeah.
And I don't see, I'm not very scared at all. I think part of it too, I mean, I've been broke and I've had money and I've been broke and I've had money and I'm just not afraid to be broke again.
Because you've done it.
Yeah. Like
I've made it on the other side.
I've rebuilt myself 3 times. Like, for me, and that's, because I think that there was a really great quote that I read about music, and I can't remember who said it, unfortunately, but it was essentially like, it's not so much about celebrating the wins, it's about taking the losses with grace. And that's 90% of it. I mean, like, this whole thing is an up and down swing, and there's troughs and there's peaks to the, whatever. But for me, it's always the same. It's just like, keep going forward. There's always a next show. There's always a next record. There's always a next song. There's always something out there.
You got to sit back and enjoy the ride.
There you go. Absolutely.
Which I think is just a perfect title for this record.
Yes.
So talk about the process of creating this one. How is this different from other stuff you've done in the past? And where does the title Enjoy the Ride come from?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, if you know who I am, there are dozens of you. But if you...
there's a lot. There's a lot. There's hundreds. There's thousands. There's lots of people out there on the Colby Acuff train.
But if you're new to me, then what I would say is if you go through the discography, you're never going to find the same thing twice. We got a lot of different records about a lot of different things. This one was really important, though, because coming out of American Sound, we'd kind of gone into like this rock record that was a little bit more about like the mental health of the world and kind of some personal shit that I was going through at the time. And I was writing these songs, and you could tell that it was leftover shit from American Son. And my producer called me, and he was like, hey, man, these songs are great, but you're kind of stuck or like lost in the brutality of it. Like, these songs are brutal, and he's like, there's a time and a place for these. It's not right now, I don't think, but like, we need to figure out, you used to write some stuff that was kind of funny too. And like, that was, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, I used to write some like funnier stuff. And so I'm, now we're sitting down and we're talking like what we want this next record to be. And he said essentially like, well, why don't we just go ask people? And it's, it's such a wild concept that isn't that crazy. Like, yeah, oh, you want to know how someone's feeling? Why don't you just go ask them?
Yeah.
And not only that, but I think truly it opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, like the metaphor of, hey, you don't even know what that person thinks, or you can guess or think whatever you want. But until you go and talk to them, you have no idea. So that's what we did. We packed up the truck, went and we interviewed 40 people in 3 different cities in one weekend on the street. And we wrote up like all these interview questions essentially. And we just say, hey, can you give us 20 minutes of your time? We just want to talk to you about you. And it was, the questions were anything from like, what are you most proud of? What would you do if you won the lottery? Tell us something about yourself. What are you are you happy? What does your average day look like? What is your perfect day?
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah. And so my mentality of it was like, all right, well, we'll go in, we'll interview all these people, and then I'll get probably like, 10 or 11 individual personalities that I can like separate throughout this record. That is not what happened. Because I'm a dumbass. I should have known what was going to happen. But this is why you go talk to people.
Yeah.
Everyone answered exactly the same from all walks of life. And it occurred to me very quickly that the reality is that everybody wants the same outcome in life. Everybody wants to be happy. Everyone has great intentions on how they want to do things. Everyone is proud of themselves. Everybody would buy a house if they won the lottery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, that everyone answered exactly. Everyone's day starts with a cup of coffee, typically. Their perfect day is the day that they experience every day, but they get to see their friends. It is That was 100% answered. Like, everyone said the same shit. So I realized, like, this record now is changing into a concept record for me. I could see where it was going, and I wanted to take 40 people and put the way that they felt about life and their individual answers and stories into 11 songs that follow these two characters essentially, and talk about, try to mirror their life and then give some people some agency. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool that it's so different and that you thought it was going to go one way, and then that experience of just going and talking to the people transforms it into this awesome concept of the two parallels.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, there was an article written about it when I announced it. I believe it was from Whiskey Riff, and they said it was what could be the most ambitious record ever written or whatever. And I thought to myself, I understand why it's a wild concept, because, like, what are the odds that someone's going to take the time to go out and talk to people? But in reality, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we as artists, we sit in a room every day. And we should sit in a room every day and try to write a song. But, like, when I'm in the room every day trying to write a song, I'm thinking about what other people are thinking and feeling. It's very different. Like, it would be way quicker to just actually walk out of the writing room, walk down to Broadway, and ask 4 or 5 people a question, and then walk back and write that song.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah.
Experience is 90% of a song,
Yeah, man. And you've gotten to live a lot of different life experiences, from going back to Idaho to now traveling internationally to relationship stuff to just to betting on yourself and packing up and moving here with your boys. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you've gone through a few chapters and evolved a lot in your few years of being here. I feel like we've seen different eras of Colby Acuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got to remind myself, this is year 3 for me.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've probably been in town less than a year total, month-wise.
From
like,
all the
I'm
touring,
just
yeah.
gone,
Crazy.
But yeah, I always say, like, I'll be 29 next month, and in 29 years, I feel like I've lived 15 different lifespans. Like, I call it the high mileage package.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to, go out there and live. I mean, I think there's a huge push. I've always had a big push for adventure. I love that part. I'm very welcoming to that,
Yeah, and there's no better adventure, no bigger adventure than traveling around betting on yourself with your guys to go out there and play music for people and hoping that they show up.
Absolutely. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, dude, and that's part of the thing. But and you're somebody that loves seeing new places, and touring's got to be great for that, to where you get to put yourself, and you've probably created songs by popping up in a Wichita, Kansas, and then like a Portland, Maine, or a this place or that place, where you see that individual in that moment. You're like, that's a story.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, visually, songs will kind of, I'll find inspiration sometimes in visual stuff, but it's hard for me unless I'm, like, talking to somebody, or, like, I have to experience an emotion, because for me, when I write a song, I try to earmark what made me feel that emotion. And then when I go back and write a song, I'm trying to pull from that exact feeling, so that when then I put it out, then someone can feel that way. I think for me as a songwriter, that's what I look for. I look for someone listening to a song and feeling the same way I did of why I wrote that song. It doesn't always happen that way. And, like, the reality is, once you write the song and it's just like me and the other guy I wrote it with, when we finish it, when that song is done and that work tape is done, to me, that's the best it ever gets. Only 2 people know about it. So it's a big secret.
It's pure.
It's pure. It's raw. That's the best it ever gets. The second best it ever gets is when you finish it in the studio. It's still yours. It's you and the producer or whoever, is in there, and you get to listen to it done for the first time. Then you release it. And that's the third best it gets. It's still great, but it's no longer mine. It is now, the public's. And they get to decide, what it means to them, which I think is really special. And that's, like, truly the best part of it. But those songs, when you very first pen them and you very first get them done, and it's just you kind of like, oh, there's a new little creation I have. I don't know how it's going to go. That's the best it gets for me.
Yeah, talk about kicking off the record with Trail Less Traveled, because you're a guy who has traveled many trails in your life, from fishing and touring and just gone all around. That song, I have an idea of what I think it means, where it's you're carving out your own path, and you're not doing anything that anyone else is telling you to do. Like, it's for that individual. It feels like doing it their way and going and cutting their teeth, and it makes a lot of sense that would be the first one on there for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think so. I wrote that song on a duck hunt with Ben Roberts and Mark Chandler, and we were out in Arkansas with the Roberts family. And man, like when we started on it, I can't remember how we came up with that line. I don't remember who came up with it, but I just left Sony. I'd just gone independent for the first time, and those lyrics really rolled off the tongue.
Yeah.
We started writing it, and you're 100% right. I mean, I think what's funny is I did end up with a concept record, but there's a lot of me in these songs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of everybody, the influences. Some of the lines in the songs are direct quotes from people from the interviews that I just put straight in.
That's so freaking cool, though.
And
that
some of
doesn't
them
happen.
no, I mean, no, but it should. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should. Like, I love that.
But some of the song lyrics are, directly from me. But like that male character, so there's a male and a female character in the record, and it's it follows their path, but it starts with the male character. And the male character in the first song is me, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
It's that's about as much me as you're gonna get. He's free to the world. He's very open to adventure. He's got everything you could ever want, except for he's alone. And I think it's as it builds, we introduce this really cool female character, and the male character is trying to figure out what his life is supposed to be, and she is trying to be more free and like less caring, and it's them trying to figure out who they are, and that I feel like that's 90% of kind of everybody.
Everybody goes through that.
Oh yeah, and then they find each other in the end.
Yeah,
it's good. There's a happy ending.
Yeah, man. And talk about being independent now, because I remember when I first met you and that first podcast that we did in the Raised Rowdy Network at Nick's old house at the Amber Sound. And I remember you talking about like the Muscadine Bloodline guys and people that do it their way in a sense. So now to have that where it's your first indie project, what's that kind of been like, where you do what you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, my first 3 records, when I say like my first 3 records, I was independent. I had no management, no booking, no label.
Yeah.
It was just me and the guys. We had a record that was doing pretty good. But, like when we started, we were a cover band that was releasing records. The rest of the country, or, some people knew who we were. And then some people knew us as a cover band. I mean, we were playing every shithole dive bar.
Welcome to Tom's, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I would not include Tom's in the shithole dive bars.
Okay.
We played some doozies.
Tom's above, yeah.
Tom's above all. Tom's they treated us nice.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah.
Paid us well. I mean, I'm talking like we're playing 3-4 hours. We're getting paid maybe $700 a night, maybe some tips. It ain't like playing Broadway and you're getting a bunch of tips.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can I pay you a hay penny for Friends in Low Places again? And I'm like,
what's a hay penny?
It's like a half a penny.
Oh, I've never even heard of a hay penny.
It's like an old penny. But like essentially they'd be like, throw $1 in and be like, Tennessee whiskey? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, dude, I got a record that's got 5 million spins in the last 2 months. And they're like, I don't give a shit about you, dude. Play Chris Stapleton right now. And I'm like, okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, watch me botch this.
Yeah.
And you got another $1. But yeah, I mean, so we did those 3 independently, and it really 2022 was that turning year for us. We came out with a record called Honky Tonk Heaven, and I don't think people really understand this, but in 2022, I put out Honky Tonk Heaven, no backing, no anything. I did make the record at Sonic Ranch, which I paid for on my own. Damn near put me in the drink, so broke, and but I got on Indigo as an independent artist in 2022. I got listed.
Playlist, yeah.
Yeah, which for me was a big win. Now, we lasted about 4 days on it. Like someone fucked up and made a mistake and put us on there. and like the manager's like going through and he's like, oh geez, who put this on there? Get this out of here, you know. But we made it, and you know, then kind of full circle. Last year we thankfully we got or not thankfully, but I'm very grateful for Indigo Playlist. But they put us on the cover for 2 weeks last year. So to go from 2022, you know, just little fly fishing guide, made it on the playlist to, you know, getting the cover last year. Couldn't be more grateful for that. But yeah, you know, we've as we've kind of gone, I don't think, you know, I don't regret at all signing my label deal. And it's not like, you know, me and my label have bad blood or anything. It just kind of got to the point where like I was ready to go off, and I was ready for the next chapter. I was ready to do something different, and we only had one record left in our deal, so figured I could buy out now and pack it up and see what happened. And truly, when I left, my initial goal wasn't to be independent, but then we started talking, and I'm like, well, I don't know, like we're fairly self-sufficient. I don't know. See how it goes.
Yeah.
And that was December. So here we are, still independent, and we got a record coming out. And so, yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Talk about a song that's been out, Her Song.
Yeah.
And that's one that has been released already before. What goes into your process of putting out a song before you've put out the full record, like the singling of certain songs? Why that one?
Well, I think there's two answers here. I think that when you put out songs, there's a marketing piece to it, and then there's the artist side of it.
Yeah.
You know, I think our first single was Average American for this project, and we released on the 4th of July. That was a marketing call.
Yeah.
I wanted to put out his song in like April.
Yeah.
But anyway, how we got to kind of Her Song, because we released his song, Her Song, as a duel.
Yep. Yeah.
And when Her Song came around, like when I wrote it, that's when it kind of the whole thing clicked for me. It was like, oh, I have this character now, and now I need to write the male character. And like, so introducing that female character, there was a couple really influential interviews that we did in these 3 days. And one of them was a mom who was helping her daughter sell, I can't remember what she was making, but it was like a farmer's market, and it was in Knoxville. And we interviewed her mom, and she was just electric. You know, she's so awesome. Just a great person. And so that was kind of, for me, it gave me a ton of insight into like that female, like very mothering nature, just helping, like, you know, no matter what. And she had a bunch of trials and tribulations in her life to help her family, you know, just like get wherever they need to go. Yeah. And then the other ones for me, there was a tattoo artist that we interviewed. She was amazing. And then there was a college kid that we interviewed in Johnson City. And between kind of those three characters, I kind of built, you know, Her Song.
Yeah. What is the numb to everything?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I hate to, obviously for me, I think the hardest thing to write for or put my, you know, walk a mile in their shoes is a female character.
Yeah.
I am a man.
Yes.
And I'm pretty dude-esque.
Yes. Yeah, know? I would agree.
Yeah. So like writing the male character, that took a lot longer for me, but I knew what I wanted to say. I just couldn't really get there. For the female part of it, I was kind of like, well, I have these characters. I don't know how I would say it. But once I started kind of meeting all these people, there was a small generalization, and it could be wrong, but it's how I built the characters. I think a lot of the times, like with men really want validation.
Yeah, and I would agree with that as a man.
And they need it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's usually it's like validation for shit that a lot of people, you know, I think a lot of women overlook. Right? It's like the little things that you want the validation for. Like anything that you thought was a big project, that's the thing. Or like whatever you think you're good at, or whatever your hobby is, or whatever it is. That's what you seek.
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, women get that all the time. Women get a lot of validation in their life. And I think, you know, men seek that, and women kind of take it for granted.
part of how it is.
Right. And vice versa. I do think that men are born into a world with pretty much unlimited freedom. Men can do anything, they can, it's kind of that way. Like, and I think men a lot of times take it for granted. I mean, even in like, if you got to take a piss or like, whatever it is, like there's no lines at the bathroom.
Yeah.
You can kind of get away with things. And so I think men take that freedom. I think women really, really want that. And I don't think that those two parties all the time, we miss it like this all the time. And so for these two characters, to give people agency in their life, her song, I created this female character who is undoubtedly free. She's super cool. She's calm and collected. She answers to no man. She's so independent and free. And so the numb to everything is like, yeah, I am trying to do all these things. And I have reached this point of like, I'm as free as a man is. And it's not all that great. It's so inspired me because I'm just numb to everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the male character, like in his song, he's just like, what is my life?
Yeah.
Like he can't find validation from anything. He sees the Jesus billboard on the side of the road, and all it reminds him of is pissing his whole life away. So it's like he can't find it anywhere. And she finds it, and it's just numbing.
Just numbing. Yeah, man. It's like you're writing a book.
Yeah, it's my first through line. It's my first through line concept record. I think all my records have had an overlying concept. They've all had an idea behind them. This is my first one where I really got to really dive into character building. And it's really interesting because I usually don't write like love songs at all. I usually write like either very chaotic songs or like very fun songs. It's kind of my in between. And I've written a few love songs, but even those love songs are kind of just like, they're insane. Honestly, they're very sad.
Yeah.
Like Cherokee Rose.
Yep.
But that being said, this was great because as I got to follow the characters, I got to write these love songs that I didn't even think were love songs while I was writing them. Just kind of like end up in these songs where they're like, all of a sudden it's a breakup song, or it's like, it's a together song, or whatever it is, So it was fun.
That's cool, man. That's really freaking cool. What is one that you love playing live so far off this new project? Because I'm imagining that you've thrown some of them into the sets with how often you and the guys are touring.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, right now we're playing all the singles. I think my favorite one to play is his song. His song is just, to me, it's my favorite record, or my favorite song on the record. And so, I just love playing it. I love like the simple walk-up progression. I love the melody. The lyrics are funny and good. And it, for as tongue-in-cheek as that song is, it is pretty deep at the same time. So
man.
I like it.
Yeah. How has your live show evolved from when you first got down here with your guys to now where you're doing? How many dates will it be this year? Will it be like over the 100 mark?
Maybe. I mean, last year we did 110. This year we did take 3 weeks off in June, which I filled with this other project that I'm doing, which is like a hunting and fishing series.
Yeah, which I want to get to talking all about that as well.
So the guys got 3 weeks off, and then I was gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We probably won't hit 100 this year because we also don't play after Thanksgiving until like February. So
nice to have that break though.
Got to do it,
but
man.
Just how is from you guys being a cover band and playing at those little dingy dive bars where you just cut your teeth as a performer to now getting to travel, opening for Midland overseas and going on this John Party tour and the stuff with 49 and your own headlining stuff? Just how have you seen it evolve over the years of the way you and the guys are on stage?
Well, I think, when I very first moved to town, moving to Nashville also, I mean, obviously, I think for everybody, it's fairly daunting in the beginning.
Yes.
But you never want to admit how daunting it is. Like I didn't want to get to town and be like, oh, I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to get to town and be like, hey, I'm here. Like, let's go. And I tried that. And I think it worked fairly enough. Like it got me in enough doors and, it definitely got me on some great tours and made some great friends. But this year, I think the show has finally hit final evolution for me because I have stopped totally caring what everyone thinks about me all the time. Like, I walk on stage, I might be wearing boots. I might be wearing Converse. I might be dressed just like this. I might be dressed up. We might play a full rock set. We might play a full country set. But at the end of the day, the thing that I would do for free is play on stage for as much time as they'll give me with my band and have a blast.
Yeah.
It's all the travel and everything else is why we get paid. So for the thing that I would do for free, I don't want to do that for anyone but us. And we'll play some of the hits, or we might play all the hits. Or fuck it. We may play none of the hits.
Yeah.
I always say, like, we always play Devil last. We always play Fire of the Devil last in the set. And I always say, we got to keep you guys here somehow.
Yep.
You're going to listen to all this other shit, and then we'll play the one that you really want. Yep. And I love playing Devil still, but, like, there's so much music. I mean, we got 66 songs out, and I want to play all of them.
Isn't that crazy to say out loud? You got 66 songs out, and now you got this record coming too.
I have 66 songs in 5 years.
Isn't that crazy?
That's the other
when you're thinking back to the guy putting $1 in your tip bucket at that bar in Idaho, being like, "Play Tennessee whiskey." To now you have 66 of your own songs.
Right. Yeah. No. And I mean,
3 years. That's crazy.
When we play headline shows, it's great because I mean, like, I love opening and I love headline. There's a totally different deal between the two of them. Obviously, headline shows are much more taxing, and there's, we go on these opening gigs, like with John. It's great. Dude, we show up, everyone's super nice, we set up, they're taking care of us, we got catering.
Yeah.
Shit, life's good.
Yeah.
But, I only get to play for 30 minutes or so. And, like the other side of it too. I mean, I will say this. We've only played 2 shows or 3 shows with John this year so far, or 4, I guess. I don't know. I can't count. But it has been so much fun. Him and his team are amazing. So nice. I mean, and I can't believe the biggest one is that I can't believe we're on the tour.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I went independent, I told my management, I'm like, dude, well, I mean, like, we'll see how it goes this year independent. Like, we're probably not going to get any industry looks this year, which was followed by Stagecoach, Lollapalooza, John Party Tour, Midland in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, so all of a sudden now we're getting more industry looks than we ever have. But it is interesting. Like, we walk out to open for John. It's Jake Worthington, John, and us. I mean, Jake Worthington is country and cornbread.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's so good. I mean, jeez. I mean, I love his stuff.
Yes, the fact you get to see his show.
Well, and I met Jake 2 years ago in Dallas in a parking lot opening for Luke. We both did the parking lot party. Yep. And so that's when I met him the first time, and this is the first time we're actually doing stuff together, but just phenomenal. And just the country music coming out of that guy is amazing. Yes. And then you got John, who's also super country music. Yes. He's got fiddle, and it's all swung, and he's got great songs. That guy's got so many hits, man. Yes. Yeah. Like, every song that he plays for 2 hours. And then there's us, non-radio, non-down the middle. We walk on stage and it's like, okay, who's this guy? And then we start playing. They're like, what is this? But by about song 4, you can see people looking around like, do we like this? Okay, I think we like this. Like, okay. And then they start having fun, and it's good. But it's a funny deal for sure.
Yeah, man, because you being more in that Americana left of center space, which you do so well, and that lane is so vibrant right now, where it's such a cool spot to be in. But you get put on these like mainstream country tours, and you're like carrying the flag for the subgenre subset that you've kind of landed in your career, and you're getting to what's it like opening for, you talked about John, but like Midland, but then you get to go back to other left of center guys like the 49 guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, we've been super lucky. I think part of our, once again, it's a strength and a weakness, but like, it's really hard to pin a genre on us. Yeah. Right? Like, because we have different things. I mean, I have folk records, I have rock records, I have straight down the middle, like honky tonk,
harmonicas, rocking.
And then we have like like an Americana record that's even like kind of Americana leaning country.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
But we have all these different things. And so I think, but I do think the reason why we get on a lot of this stuff, and I could be wrong, which I've been wrong a lot, but I think it's because we got great songs. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I like the music. I'll never release something that I don't like. So I think we got good songs, and I got a great band.
Yes.
And I think those two things together make it a, you listen, hey, you want this guy to open? Sure. Listen to his music. All right. Music's pretty good. And then we get there and play. We're no track, no clicks. Like, we are live as hell. So if it's good, you're going to hear it. If we fuck up, you're going to hear that too. That's just the way it is. But we try to keep it as, as raw as possible. That's kind of our shtick.
Yeah, man. Just raw dogging it.
Always.
Just get after it and go out and play. So talk about now you've gotten to live out your dreams of doing this music thing, but now talk about the exciting chapter of getting back into the outdoor space and personality and the show of getting out there. Like, it's fishing, right? It's not hunting. It's a little bit of both, or
it's both. Exactly, yeah. So the last year we were very, very fortunate to have some sponsors come on. And all of them were like essentially in the fly fishing, duck hunting space. The first one to jump on was a company called Duck Camp, which I was a big fan of their stuff prior, but they specialize in just fly fishing and duck hunting.
Your two things.
Those are the two things. Yeah. The only three things I've ever been good at: music, fly fishing, duck hunting. And so they come on and they just wanted to sponsor music. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then I was like, oh, but I could. Like, ever since I was a kid, I grew up watching all these fly fishing videos and duck hunting videos. I was like, it was literally country music and those two things. That was all I was consuming at all times.
Yeah.
And those are also the only three things that I was doing ever, And also back then, all three of those things were super lame. No one liked any three of those things back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, like 2008, 2009.
Yeah. That was my life.
Yeah.
And everyone was shooting deer and bass fishing and listening to like punk or, top 40 pop or Nickelback, which I do like Nickelback. But there's like, all three of those things were super lame. I almost had to hide it, to not get a swirly. But it was all I was doing. And I was like, man, like when this sponsorship came in, I'm like, man, we could do this. Like, I could take this sponsorship and run with it, try to get some more on board. And then we could I could have my own fly fishing and duck hunting series. But I didn't want it to be just like your standard practice. Like, hey, look at us catching a lot of fish and killing a lot of things. Like, that to me is not really what hunting and fishing is.
Yeah, you need that. It's all that extra stuff.
Yeah, it's like the why you do it.
Yep.
Like, I don't really do it to catch and kill. I do it because there's like a big element of like fooling nature, and there's like all these. There's a lot of time and knowledge spent doing this shit. So what I did is I said, you know what, we're gonna tell the story of these guides and the outfitters, people that use it every single day, and they never usually get to be the front-facing thing on these shows. They usually have some host, who would be me, who's like, hey, so can you tell me what I need to say on camera? And the guy's like, gosh, and he's like, yeah, so anyway, it's 65 degrees here, and like we got the sun and blah, 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 and the fish are doing this and that. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to play client. I'm literally just going to play a dumbass in the front of the boat. And these guides are going to be the main character, and the support character is the resource, the area, the fish. And we're just going to make little 8 to 10 minute docuseries about these people and where they are, where they're from, what they do. And we're going to try and, just kind of show importance of conservation and, knowledge.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think
you get to go so many places with that too. Like, where all have you traveled? Like, I don't know how much you can tell us about what you've shot and whatnot, but
well, this year we with the fly fishing section of it, we've stayed obviously stateside, just because we had to do it with tour. But we've been all through Montana. We did one episode in Idaho. We did Tennessee, Arkansas, Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh.
And then for duck hunting, we'll stay stateside as well. But we'll be, all around. We're going to do, Idaho, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. So yeah, we'll be around. Yeah. But then hopefully, we can go do some saltwater fly fishing, like go down to Mexico, go to Belize, go to wherever we need to go. Yeah. The Keys, Well, I'm hoping this thing can just kind of take me. I just hope it takes me fishing and hunting. That's my thing, and I want to feature these people.
Yeah, and you want to give something to the young to the young guy or girl that's into this stuff and give them something to watch. Like you watched those shows 20 years ago.
Well, yeah, and I think, I don't know, like in today's age, it's kind of like anything. I've watched it happen with all three of the things I love most, where between music, hunting, and fishing, like all three of those things have gotten super popular, especially like in, the social media space and like short form content space. And there's so much within music, hunting, and fishing that's very hard to convey in 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think, if you got in to fly fishing and duck hunting to just catch and kill, you're already kind of missing the boat.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to do those things correctly if that's the only goal. Like the easiest way for me to explain that, I guess, would be like when I was a guide, on my days off, I'd go fishing. But I really wasn't fishing. I was going to find fish that I could put people on tomorrow. And so if I go in to this hole that I really want to bring someone to the next day, and I catch every fish in that hole, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're in here, and I bring the guy the next day, those fish are not going to be as willing to eat because they just got absolutely slaughtered the day before.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would go in there and I'd cut the hooks off my flies, and I'd fish with no hooks. So they'd eat, and I wouldn't sting them or catch them or anything, but I'd know that they were there, and then I'd bring someone there the next day with a hook.
And they'd be happier than
but you got to be able to put down the rod. You got to be able to not want to just catch and kill all the goddamn time. Like half of the reason why I love duck hunting so much is just watching the birds work, like just getting them in. I mean, like truly, like I could basically never kill another duck or goose in my life if I was just running the blind, calling and getting them in and letting everyone else shoot. That'd be totally fine. Just
seeing the formation come in.
Yeah, I mean, and you're talking to them the whole time, like it's fucking awesome. But that's the shit that I like, and that's the shit that I feel like when you're getting into it, that's like when it clicks of like, oh, I really like this. But it's not stacking bodies.
Yeah.
That's just stacking bodies.
Yeah, I've never been duck hunting or fly fishing, so it's like on the list. I've gotten offers about going duck hunting, so I'm like, one of these days I'm going to get out there. I feel like that's the good for somebody who's never been out hunting.
Yeah.
I feel like duck hunting is like a good entry point because it's that it sounds like it's a communal thing, like you're hanging out with your boys in the blind.
It is, yeah. I mean, you're sitting there. I mean, it's kind of like anything. Like you're waiting for them to come in, and you're stationary, so you're not hunting them so much. Like you're not tracking them and shit like that. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. Like you got to make sure that you're where they want to be, and then you just put out the decoy spread, and then you start talking to them. And there's definitely certain sections of the day that are really hot, and then you're like waiting, and then it gets, they fly on a cycle and whatnot. But yeah, it's to me, people go duck hunting, they either love it or they hate it, because it's typically like really early morning. Where I'm from, it's usually really cold. But if you love it, it's like totally addicting.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I've heard, man. What are you hoping that people feel and take away from this, your first concept record with Enjoy the Ride?
I mean, I just hope that, when people listen to it, that my only goal for the songs ever is that so that they do what they are intended to do. That is, I mean, I think as a songwriter, I put the bar pretty low for what I want to do with songs. I'm not trying to change the world. I just want to give people songs, and then if they decide they want to change the world, they can. And so like with this record, especially the way that I wrote it is to essentially give people agency in their life to make sure that, they feel that is, and it's also backed by this interview process, right? So they feel that they're not alone. Everyone feels this way. Trust me.
Yeah.
I talked to them. This record was literally written by you, And so hey, I can't tell everybody how I feel, but I can hold up a mirror and show people how they feel. So hopefully that is kind of the response.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool because I'm trying to think of another album that did that, where it was like the crowdsourcing thing, where it's going out and actually talking to the consumer. Like it's such a practical concept, but the fact that nobody like does it because you're telling other people's stories, which is sick.
Yeah, and I actually haven't thought about this. I don't know if I'm the first to ever do that, but that would be crazy if I was. I
Yeah.
can't be. There's got to be some.
But in country,
dude.
like in our world of country music,
Oh, for sure.
like I feel like in the world of like indie stuff or like crazy songwriters like Bob Dylan, like people like that, I'm sure somewhere along the line they did something.
Well, and like there's stories, like so like Money for Nothing,
Yeah.
Dire Straits. So like that song was written. He was in like a Lowe's or like a Home Depot, like a department store situation, and he's like, how they have like the kitchenettes, like the kitchen spaces that are up, but they're like fake,
Yeah.
And so there's like a fridge and all this shit in there, and he's standing in the kitchenette, and there's a slide window above the sink, and it just looks into the TV department. And he's standing there looking through the window, and this guy's dropping off TVs to put up, and like on the big TV wall where all the TVs are, they're playing MTV. And it's like back in the heyday of MTV, right? So it's like all these rock stars playing, and jamming out, and it's like the top music videos or whatever. And the delivery guy is like, man, like I'm here delivering this. I should have done that. They get money for nothing, chicks for free. Wow. And all the lyrics for Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free is quotes from that guy. Every line.
Wow. I did not know
it's
that.
Mark sitting there writing down every single thing this guy's saying about the guys on MTV. Like, dude, see that guitar or see that guy? Yeah, that's the way you do it. That's the play the guitar on the MTV.
Yeah.
It's every line is just this delivery, dude.
For a generational song.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about that song too. I mean, the lyrics are great, but that guitar riff is fucking legendary.
Iconic.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so like, there's been songs that have been written that way, but I don't know. I mean, it could. I guess it could be the only record that's been done that way, but.
Yeah. What have been some fan responses? Because you go deep with a lot of your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
If I Were the Devil, and you came out of the gate releasing music of having a lot of fun with your songs and something that people can drink a cold beer to with their friends, but also something where that guy or girl's sitting in the room and thinking about shit. What have been some like fan responses that you've gotten to your music over the years?
I mean, a lot. I mean, I think, there are some songs that pull greater responses, like something like Scared of the Dark. That song's about mental health. I've lost a ton of friends to suicide, unfortunately. And so I wish I would have written that song 10 years ago. But nonetheless, I'm happy it's out now. So like the response from that song is obviously much different than a response for like Moscow Drinking Team or Tom's, and I think being diversified in the catalog is a good thing. I don't want to be doom and gloom all the time because I understand, how grating that can be for a live show and a lot of other things. But, I'm a guy who likes to have a good time. I try to think very thoughtfully about things. And so when it's time to write a song that I feel like something needs to be said, I'll write it. American Sun, Scared of the Dark, If I Were the Devil, Playing God Again, so on. But there's plenty of time for, Start in the Morning, Welcome to Tom's, and even like personal triumph songs for me, like Outlaw on Me. That's a song I wrote about moving down to Nashville and feeling like I don't belong, but I have a seat at the table, And like, I always thought it was such a big, like when If I Were the Devil came out, every interview that I did and all these things, it was a big buzzword at the time. Everyone was talking about New Age Outlaw, New Age Outlaw, New Age Outlaw, New Age Outlaw. And I just remember thinking it was such a joke. Like, I still think it is a joke. Like, you think that If I Were the Devil is New Age Outlaw? You think I'm a fly fishing guide, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not an outlaw. Like, and so there's a line in Outlaw on Me that says, who can tell me what's an outlaw? I'm not for certain, but I can tell you what it ain't, son. It ain't hats, tats, sound, or in between. It's about not being wanted where you want to be.
Yeah.
And I think like that to me that's just me in general. Like, I don't think that it's I don't know what you want to consider anything these days, but I would say I'm more of like a misfit or a degenerate or a trailblazer. You can say a lot of things, but an outlaw, I don't think so.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? Do you get the senses of that identity crisis or that imposter syndrome at times?
No.
And some of the opportunities that you've gotten with describing yourself in that way, where it's like you're an outsider, but you're here at the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, no, I don't have imposter syndrome. I don't have I don't have a personality that's different. I mean, I am me.
Yeah.
Talking to you, when we're off air, I'm the same.
Yeah, you're the same dude. Yeah.
I walk on stage, I'm the same. Maybe that is something that, maybe that's something that I should have done, is have a stage personality or whatever.
No,
but
people want Colby Acuff.
The truth is I just can't do it. I can't. I have to be me. And so like a big fortunate thing for me is I know who I am. And I think, this is where it's tough, because I don't love, I guess, speaking highly of myself. I'm usually like pretty self-degrading, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I do think I'm willing to admit that I think we deserve to be here. I mean, I think we're just as deserving as anybody else.
Yeah.
We're pretty prolific in what we do, and we try to do it a little different way. So I mean, I think for that reasons, I do think we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So I try not to beat myself up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like more where you talk about you don't know what genre, like how you would describe it, to where you're on tour with guys with radio hits. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's where you have those moments, or when you first come down there and you're like, I'm not the new age outlaw. I'm Colby.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and that's exactly it, right? It's like, we try not to take ourselves too seriously, because if, back in 2020, you got all these comments and shit that's like, dude, outlaw. And if I would have taken that to heart and created a new personality for myself, I'd be an outlaw, dude.
You'd be a completely different person.
Exactly. So I try, it's like, well, sure. Like, I mean, to me, it was a big compliment, because I do love, I love that Willie Whalen whole deal. But even Willie and Whalen hated that title. Because, dude, I mean, at the end of the day, when you start getting slapped with labels, typically you never pick them. Like, you can't pick it. You can't pick your own nickname.
Yeah.
You're not going to pick your own label.
No.
And so I think, like Bob Wills, great example. Bob Wills was like, we're playing jazz, and they slapped him with country swing or Western swing.
Yeah.
Like, Western swing was huge. He was super popular for Western swing. He was pissed about it. Waylon Willie, they were playing country music. Slap with outlaw. They hated it.
Yeah.
It's like,
they're like, we're country singers just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's hard to claim your own thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so I've never really been a big fan of that.
Yeah. What are some goals for you? Obviously, this record coming out, you get the break that it sounds like is needed with the boys. Get the time with your other half, with the family, with all of that stuff. But what are some like big goals that we're trying to close out 2025 with, and what are we looking at for 26, man?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think closing out 2025, I could not be more happy or surprised. I mean, we survived.
Yeah.
Which is just unbelievable.
I'd say you freaking thrived, man. Like, it was a big year for you guys. You guys were everywhere. And a lot of tunes coming out. It seems like the business grew. Like,
totally, yeah.
Like you guys are trying to do it. You took steps forward this year.
What's funny is it's my first year back as being an independent, and it's my biggest streaming year I've had.
Yeah.
So it's been good. But yeah, I mean, we successfully played headline shows, and those went great. We successfully played Farewell Fest, Lollapalooza, Stagecoach.
Real quick, sidebar. What was Lollapalooza like? Because those all genre things just sound like chaos. I haven't done many of them, but it just sounds like to walk me through you and the boys rolling up in the van.
It was
to Lolla freaking Palooza in Chicago. Like, of all the scenarios, I'm like, that one's got to be a great story.
Okay, it is a great story because it's really funny, and it's not quite the thing that you think. Well, it might be exactly what you think, to be honest. So we were super, super fortunate. We played the BMI stage. BMI picked us to be the representation, and it was awesome. I'd never played anything like this in my life. And you're right, like it's all genre. Luke was a headliner there for the very first time. There was a country headliner. I got to watch that. Luke did amazing. Sarah Farrell did amazing. Yeah. There was only, I think, 4 country acts on our day. It was us, the Drop Tines, Sierra, and Luke. Our set overlapped with Gracie Abrams. Dude. So we show up, and we are, I think we're like direct or maybe headlining the BMI stage. I can't even remember at this point. We had like a later set though. Okay. So I'm like, dude, this is going to be sick. Yeah. There'll be so many people prime there. Time. It's going to be awesome. No, prime time was for Gracie Abrams.
Well, I mean, prime time side stage.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, like we started and all I can hear is like the 80,000 people. They're not super close, but it's like 80,000 people down the way on the other main stage watching Gracie. And I can hear, it's like if there's 80,000 people there, I'd say 60,000 of them are, 17 to 20-year-old girls. I can just hear them screaming.
Every word.
I can hear them through my in-ears.
Holy shit.
In the fucking room mics. And they're like half a mile away. And I'm like, oh God. So we step on stage, we had a decent crowd, but it wasn't like crazy. It was an amazing experience to do it, but I love it because the one thing for us, the one thing that is consistent with our experience is we always have like this group. It's not the same guys, but it's like I can tell who the Colby Acuff fan is in the crowd, and it's like it's like usually something from like a pipe welder to like it's any guy working kind of like that blue collar job. Like I always say like the reason why I would still classify us as always being a country band, even though now I kind of say we play American music, but like we're a country band because we always represent the working class. Yeah. And I think that is truly the definition of country music is you got to be there for the working class. And so the working class always shows up for us. They're there and they are very supportive. But I can always tell, like we walk out and it's like there's some girls in the front row and I think they're probably there for the guy after us, or maybe they're there for the guy before us, and they're kind of like, what the fuck is this? And then you got, I don't know, like probably a group of 30 guys. Yeah. And they're just like,
yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell on me. Play Far with the Devil. So I'm like, these are my guys. Yes. I know exactly what you do.
Yes. You got a cold beer in your hand that you paid a lot of money for.
Exactly.
And you're going to drink that beer and rock out with us.
Yeah. So Lala was super interesting for me. It was like, it was an incredible opportunity. Got to see a lot of things that we never get to see on our day to day. It was, it's even like when we walk into a country festival, like even if it's a mainstream country festival, I still feel like we're right in that groove. Yes. Like I'm like, man, we are going to go out there and people will love this because it's just raw enough. It just flips the bill a little bit. Or like we go play, kind of a more like Americana, or like left to center fest. That's really up our alley. Yeah. Because we have fans there. Yeah. At that kind of thing, we have fans. The mainstream, we have some fans, but we're trying to make some more. At Lala, I might as well have been like George Washington, dude. Like it was nobody. Yeah. But
But it had to be just cool to kind of see like what's the vibe there overall, because there's like arts and shit there too, right? Like those mainstream festivals are just all over the place.
It's 120,000 people. Like I walked through it once and had a panic attack and had to go back. Like it's unbelievable amount of people. And the other thing that I realized too, I walked the festival one time before we played because I wanted to go see the stage, and our green room was, it's a mile. Like you got a cart everywhere. So I walked the whole thing. I walk all the way down to our stage. The whole time I'm walking, like I'm starting to realize where I'm at. I just played 3 festivals, all country festivals, big country festivals. It was Farewell Fest and Stagecoach were the big 2. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like those to me, they were big, but the audience made sense to me. because that's from my world.
Yeah.
Walking Lala, I'm like, oh God, I'm way over my head here. You know, it looks like I grew up, you know, out west. It looked like Coachella.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, and overall too, like it did go over really, really well. We had a pretty good crowd there, but
Yeah.
give myself a little less credit than you know I probably should. But it was funny just hearing all those people screaming for Gracie.
Yeah.
It was so loud, dude. It's incredible. Good for her too. She crushed.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
80,000 people's wild.
It was nuts.
Or 120 in that whole festival. Like, because you did a country concert with us this year.
Yeah, correct.
The Raised Rowdy Camper Party.
Yes, that was great.
Which that is like that is the Raised Rowdy origin story. Was Nikki T circa 2012 going to that festival. That's how the whole thing started for us.
That was a fun one, man. That was a really fun one.
BYOB, blue collar as hell, kicking off the week. You, Old 60, Lakeview,
Yeah.
Shelby Ray. That was a fun night.
Dude, it was great. I had a blast.
It was Raised
Good
Rowdy as
crowd.
fuck, man.
It
Have
really
you
was,
and
yeah.
Lakeview and fucking the Old 60 guys, like, and Shelby. It was like,
And that was actually the first time I got to hang out with Old 60 or meet them for
really?
the first time.
That
Yeah.
surprises me because you guys are in like a
I
similar
know.
type of world where I'm like, I feel like you guys would have hung out and drank some beers or something beforehand.
You know how it goes. I mean, like,
But they're on the road. You're on the road. So
right.
yeah.
And you know, I always say, like, unless you're on the road together,
Yeah.
hard to meet people. You know, it's just the
Yeah.
reality.
What have been some of your like on the road or like festival encounters where you've gotten to become like boys? Like who would you say are like your family where you see they're on a festival and you and the boys are just grinning, being like, we can't wait to see these guys.
Oh, I mean, it's a long list, to be honest. But I'd say it's, you know, for sure anytime we're on with Luke, you know, Luke and his band.
The family,
Kurt.
yeah.
I mean, that's family. 49 Winchester's family. Flatland Cavalry is family. Charles West of Godwin is family. I love being on with Lainey as well. We've been really lucky. We got to start opening for Lainey when she was doing like 2,000 cap rooms. We kind of, you know, built that relationship. So love it when Lainey's on. Caitlin Butts, you know, in that, anything in that vein.
All those artists, man. It's a great group of people, man.
And Muscadine as well.
Yes.
I got to, make sure. I say
Talented,
Muscadine.
but also just great humans. Like the nicest people to be on the road with.
And
all
dude,
of them.
we've been so lucky. Like the people have treated us so well. And I can't, you know, we've opened. I always say like we're kind of like playing all-time opener for the last 3 years. We've opened for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and we've made friends with damn near everybody. And if we didn't make friends with them, it was nothing short of we just didn't really get to hang.
Yeah. It was
And
a
it's
quick day.
no fault to anyone. But like we've been super fortunate to really make some amazing allies and friends and other creatives and just kind of, I don't know, have that family on the road that we can always rely on.
Yeah, man, it's so important. What's something that you would tell that guy? So you've been in town now, what? You said like you came here, what, 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
This is my third year.
This is your third year.
2 and a little change, yeah.
So you came out here when you were 25?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you tell that 25-year-old kid that's saying, fuck it, I'm going to Nashville? Like knowing what you know now, having been through the journey, the ups and the downs, the success that you've seen, you've got to tour the damn world with some of your favorite bands. Like, what would you tell that kid that's leaving the guiding behind back in Idaho and coming down to Music City?
I mean, I would definitely tell him that, you know, you're making the right choice. You got to go. But in reality, I don't know. I probably wouldn't say too much because there's so much that he hadn't experienced yet. You know, I didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if I'm sure, you know, I've made mistakes, obviously. But there's nothing that I regret. So I wouldn't, you know, tell him to change anything. I wouldn't tell him to do anything different. I think it's just, you know, go get him.
Yeah, go get him, man.
Keep going.
Go get him. Get after
You're
it,
still
man.
doing it.
Yeah.
That makes any sense. You're still doing
You're
it.
still doing it.
Well, you're like almost 30. Yeah, no, we're still doing it. Oh yeah.
Still doing it. How long have you had this rendition of your band? Is it still all the same guys from Idaho? Or
I've had so my bass player is the only one that had changed from when we moved from Idaho.
yeah.
He's from Idaho. He went to University of Idaho. He was an easy, you know, he was living in Portland at the time. But I mean, this is my band. I've had this band from 2021. Like when this band formed, it was the day I got done recording If I Were the Devil.
Wow.
And I had to play a gig in Moscow. So I drove up from Boise, the guy who recorded that record, the producer on that, is my steel guitar player now. So like this has been the camp. Yeah. This has been the thing forever. And we've never had, any problems. They're a great group of guys. We don't take anything too seriously. We embrace the suck. Yeah. I think we just live for pain. We love it.
Glutton for punishment.
Dude, I mean,
we want to do this.
Try our best.
Yeah, man. Just traveling around and making cool stuff with your boys, man. That's badass. Well, dude, I appreciate you so much for coming on here and hanging out.
Dude, absolutely. Thanks for giving me the time.
Dude, of course. Like you're literally family. Like when people talk about like artists that we've gotten to see from early on that are out there killing it and living their dreams and doing cool shit, you're always one of the first guys we mention, right? Because
thank you.
I remember first meeting you and hanging out with you at Red Door. I think it was your first time going to Red Door, and
it was
like,
green, yeah.
But now to see like to where you talk about how little you've been home, and that's what you want. Like you want opportunities to go on the road and play music for people. You want opportunities to do guiding shows and put out records and do all this stuff, man. So it's so cool to watch you just doing your damn thing. And you're the same guy that I met 4 years ago.
Oh, well, thank you.
Like you're still the same old Colby, and you always will be. And
Boy, I hope so.
And that's what the fans love about you too, man. That's how you build. Like you're talking about like the Muscadine fans or the Red Clay fans or the Charles fans or the 49 fans or Luke fans. It's because they grow with you, and I'm so excited to see how they react to this chapter of Enjoy the Ride. Yeah, I think it's going to take people on a different kind of journey where the next project will be something different. Like all your projects are just different chapters of the book, man.
Yeah, so, and it's cool. Always, I mean, for me, I think like I'm an artist that I'd love to have 50 records, for a lifetime. Like it'd be awesome. I'm gonna try and put out a record every year forever. Yeah. And so I don't know, like I'm always excited for the next chapter as well. I'm excited to get this out. I am just like, I'm so happy that we've been busy. It's funny you bring that up. It's, every job, you're going to bitch about your job a little bit. Yeah. I love my job. I wouldn't want to do anything else. But it is hard to bitch when you're busy. Yes. And that is something that sometimes I got to keep in mind.
It's hard to bitch when you're busy. Yeah. Those are words I'm gonna remember that, because that's same thing with us where me and Nikki are going more. But it's like, hey Nick, we could be think of anything else we could be doing. We're getting to be the raised rowdy guys for a living. Like there's way worse shit to be doing.
When I first moved down, I mean, I remember too, because it was like, you guys were getting started. You had the podcast. You had some things. I remember because you just had gotten the beer sponsorship.
Yes.
And that was a
Bud Light.
Huge deal. Yeah, the Bud Light deal.
Bud Light shit everywhere.
We just were drinking Bud Light.
Yeah, it was just unlimited Bud Light.
Yeah, it was amazing. And but I remember that, and I just remember like I mean, it's awesome because since I have moved to town too, like it has felt like everyone has grown together, which is awesome. And it's like no one's kind of like left anyone behind, or like it's been ultimately always thankful for Raised Rowdy. Yeah, and I always tell people too, like we're at festivals and or you meet like a young fan, it's like, hey, I'm going to Nashville for the first time. Like, you got any advice? I'm like, get in with Raised Rowdy if you can. Yeah. Meet Matt or Nick as fast as you possibly can.
Come check us out at the local or at Odie's. That's where we're doing the events now. So
absolutely,
yeah, man. Well, hey, I can't wait for everybody to check out this record. What do we know when the guiding show is, like where we're at with that? Are there episodes out right now?
Yeah, so we just dropped an episode last night. We have 3 episodes out.
Okay,
but there will be about 15 episodes this whole year. So there's a lot that's coming out. You can find it. Just go to Colby Acuff on YouTube, and there's a playlist called Fin and Feather.
Fin and Feather.
Fin and Feather is what it's called. Go there, and you can watch the 3 right now, and there'll be more coming out as we get going. This fall, we'll release all the rest of the fly fishing ones, and then we'll start releasing the duck hunting ones.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Y'all be sure to go and check out Enjoy the Ride and check out Fin and Fish.
Feather.
Fin and Feather. The fin is the fish. Too many freaking F's. Fin and Feather. Enjoy the Ride. Fin and Feather. Our man Colby Acuff. Y'all go and check it out. Give him a follow and be on the lookout if you're a fan of John Party. go check out one of the shows. You got a bunch of dates left with him, right?
Oh yeah, it's like all the way through October 18th. So check it out. I know.
And be on the lookout for where he'll be in 2026, because I'm sure you and the boys will be all over the damn place.
Oh, you know it.
It'll be something. But also shout out to our friends from Surfside, vodka lemonade, vodka iced tea, vodka green tea. No bubbles, no troubles. It is not a seltzer. It is a Surfside sunshine in a can. We love you, Surfside. Love you, Matt Quigley. Also, shout out to check out the website, raisedrowdy.com for more on us. From my man Colby, I'm Matt Burrill. This has been Outside the Round. Sit.
Thank you.
I ain't never been the kind for staying one place for too long. I ain't never been the best at saying I love you to a girl I love. Only got a couple tricks up my sleeve. They usually just make 'em leave.